Right now, are you hearing a little voice in your head as you read this? A voice that sounds like you, same accent, same speed. For some people, that voice talks all day and never stops. It rehearses arguments in the shower. It reads signs out loud. It narrates your own texts back to you. And it is not always kind. It replays the thing you said 5 years ago at 2 in the morning. If that is you, it feels obvious. Of course there is a voice. That is just what thinking is. But other people have little or no voice in there. For some, it is almost pure silence. Not calm, not peaceful, just quiet. Sometimes almost no words at all. They think in pictures or feelings with no words. The idea just arrives, whole, already finished. And some people think with no words and no pictures at all. Just knowing. Ask them how and they cannot explain. It is like asking how you know you are hungry. Sounds impossible? Let me show you that you already do it. Picture the front door where you live. Quick, which side is the handle on? Left or right? To answer, you did not use a single word. You saw the door and looked. That was your mind working with the voice switched off. You just never noticed. You do that hundreds of times a day. You just never catch yourself doing it. For some people, that is their whole mind, and they never knew anyone was different. Imagine finding out at 30 that everyone else has been narrating their life to themselves. Some people only found out from a post online. Thousands of strangers, all shocked at each other. And here's the twist. You are probably wrong about your own voice. Because when scientists tested it, the voice showed up far less than people think. Stick with me. By the end, you will never trust that voice the same way again. So how do you test something as private as your own thoughts? You cannot open someone's head. And you cannot just ask them. Ask what you were thinking an hour ago and you do not remember. You guess. They gave people a little beeper to carry around all day. Every so often it beeped at a totally random moment. Right then you freeze and catch exactly what was in your head. The real moment, not what you assume. No guessing, no looking back, just the moment itself. Imagine wearing it for a week. Beep, what is in your head right now? Washing the dishes, no words, just the feel of warm water. Beep, walking to work, a picture of your desk and no commentary. Beep. And there it is, a full sentence in your own voice. That is the real shape of a mind. Mostly quiet with words passing through. Words are not the water. They are the fish that swim past now and then. People swore the voice was on almost all the time. Ask anyone and they will tell you it never shuts up. But when they actually counted, it was on far less. Picture 4 random moments in your day. On average, the voice was really talking in only about 1 of them. The other 3, your mind was doing something quieter. You just do not remember it. And the gap between people was enormous. Some had it running most of the day. Some almost never. Same species, same brain. Completely different inside. Because looking back, your memory quietly fills the gaps with words. It is a diary written by someone who only shows up sometimes and swears they were there the whole time. The voice was not lying to you, your memory was. So the voice feels constant. It just is not. So if it is not always on, what is that voice even for? Here's the strange part. It did not start inside your head. It started out loud back when you were tiny. Watch a little kid play. They talk themselves through everything, out loud. Put the red one here, no, not that one, this one. And they do it more when the task gets hard. That is the clue. It is not chatter. It is a tool they are using. Then slowly that talking goes quiet, and it slips inside. First out loud, then a mumble, then just lips moving, then nothing you can hear. The voice in your head is just that little kid habit, gone silent. Language did not just give us a way to talk to each other. It gave us a way to talk to ourselves. And it does real jobs, holding a phone number while you dial, talking yourself through a tricky step. Ever notice you talk out loud again when something gets really hard? That is the little kid coming back out, the tool turned up loud. It also helps you stop yourself. Kids who talk themselves through a task out loud tend to stick with it longer. The voice is not just describing your life. Sometimes it is steering it. So the voice is a helper you hired as a child and never let go. We know it is a real tool because of what happens to people who barely use it. Same smarts. But some word puzzles get harder. Like quickly telling if 2 words rhyme. That one you kind of have to hear. A cat, a hat. You just heard those, did you not? But none of this is the strangest part. Because so far we asked what the voice does. The better question is, who is talking? But here is the strangest part. And it is a little unsettling. To hear a voice in your head, someone has to talk, and someone has to listen. Think how strange that is. Your brain tracks who is speaking, in a room with one person in it. It gets that right thousands of times a day, and you never notice it happening. So how does your brain know that voice is you, and not a stranger? It slaps a tiny label on it, A sticker that says, "This one is mine." You feel that label every single day without knowing. Try this. Try to tickle yourself. Go on, really try. Nothing, right? You simply cannot do it. Because your brain saw your own hand coming and canceled the surprise. It knows the difference between your hand and somebody else's. It does the exact same thing with your voice. It labels it you before you even hear it. Every thought gets stamped before it reaches you. You never see it happen. You are, in a very real way, two things at once. The one who speaks and the one who hears. Now, what if that label slips off? It gets it right thousands of times a day. Until for some people, it does not. Your own quiet voice loses its tag, and your brain cannot tell it is you. So it does the only thing it can. It decides the voice came from outside. A real voice that feels like a stranger. This is one leading idea for why some people hear voices that are not there. And there is a clue in the brain that backs it up. Normally, when you talk to yourself, your hearing quiets down. It already knows what is coming. In people who hear voices, that quieting is weaker. The brain does not recognize its own words. The brain hears its own voice and does not recognize it. The same trick that gives you a private voice is one slip from a voice you would swear was someone else. So you might be thinking, if the voice is this shaky, do we even need it? Honestly, there's no one normal brain. People with no inner voice think, plan, and remember just fine, a different way. It is not a disorder. It is not broken. It is just a different setup. Plenty of sharp, creative people have no voice in there at all. They just do the same job with different tools. And the voice has a twin. Some people cannot picture things either. Want to check yours? Close your eyes and picture a red apple. Really try to see it. Some of you saw a bright, clear apple. Some of you saw almost nothing. Just the idea of an apple, with no picture. That is called aphantasia, a mind with no pictures, and it is perfectly normal too. Many people only find out in an argument about whether counting sheep is meant literally. Some people have no voice and no pictures, and they still think and dream and love just fine. There is no test that lets you stand inside another person's mind. You only ever get your own. So back to the start, that voice you heard reading this. You thought it was just you thinking. It is not. It is one tool your mind picks up, and it uses it far less than you think. It runs on a habit a tiny kid version of you built, out loud, and it holds together on one little sticker that says, mine. A sticker that, for some people, quietly slips. You spent your whole life sure you knew what was inside your own head, and you were wrong about the most basic thing about it. Look at the people around you tomorrow. Some of them are hearing a running commentary right now. Some are in complete silence, and none of you can tell just by looking. The one thing everybody assumes they share and almost nobody checks. So tonight, when it starts talking, notice it. Then notice when it stops. The strangest thing in the world is not out there somewhere. It is the quiet machine behind your eyes, narrating whenever it feels like it. Your mind is full of hidden settings like this one. And the next one is even stranger.